welcome to Look North. I'm Sharon Barbour. The family of a Teesside man who suddenly died from an undiagnosed heart condition nearly 2 years ago says screening must be made widely available for youngsters. Dan Cook was just 33 and was otherwise fit and healthy, as Jim Scott reports.
He was just 10 weeks away from marrying the love of his life, a Hartlepool musician who wrote this song and was otherwise fit and healthy. But as the 33-year-old was building a life in London, he had no idea something was going wrong.
We're in London for the weekend. Spent all day with Daniel on the Monday, and on the Wednesday morning we travelled home and we got a call just to say that Daniel had died at the gym.
He'd suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. A heart condition had gone undiagnosed.
Well, it didn't seem real, you know.
No.
Still doesn't seem real, really, but...
No, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
real. Sometimes I think he's still in London.
Dan had never been screened for a heart condition because it's not something widely available to those under the age of 35. That's despite an average 12 seemingly fit and healthy young people dying from Dan's condition every week.
There's so many people just dropping dead who are young, generally fit, and it shouldn't happen, you know, because it can be prevented.
In memory of their son, they've set up a memorial fund to help offer screening for youngsters in Hartlepool, but they're calling on the government to fund a national programme to stop deaths like Dan's. The government, though, says it's guided by the UK National Screening Committee, which is re-examining the evidence and will open a public consultation.
Hopefully, with our actions, Dan's death won't be in vain.
Jim Scott, BBC Look North, Hartlepool.
Hundreds of dead and dying seabirds, including puffins and guillemots, are washing up on British beaches in the wake of this winter's severe storms. Dozens of dead birds have been found on northeast beaches, including Druridge Bay and Warkworth in Northumberland and Seaburn in Sunderland. The RSPB believes it's evidence of a seabird wreck, a mass mortality event caused when winter storms leave birds too exhausted or starved to survive.
The real challenge is how long this will continue on for. We're getting closer to the breeding season now for these birds, and it will be a matter of can they get inshore, can they get safe.
The RSPB says seabird species are already in decline and is calling for better management of the fishing industry and stronger protection for breeding colonies. The National Trust, which runs the reserve on the Farne Islands, says the bad weather probably caused the deaths, but the RSPB says avian flu has also not been ruled out. If anyone finds a dead bird, they're urged not to touch it, but report it to DEFRA. County Durham is hosting its first major UK athletics event in quarter of a century. Sedgefield is the venue for the National Cross Country Championships, with thousands of runners taking part from across England. Athletes from all age ranges and abilities have been taking part throughout the day, and you can see all the results on the English Cross Country Association website. To football, and in the Premier League, Newcastle visit title-chasing Manchester City tonight for an 8 o'clock kick-off. And Middlesbrough are now in action against Oxford United in the Championship at the Riverside Stadium. And you can keep up with all the results on BBC Sport. Currently 0-0 in that game. Time for the weather now. Here's Shefali.
Hello there. Well, even though it was quite breezy today, we got a taste of spring. Temperatures quite widely into double figures, and we've got more of that to come next week. But low pressure is going to be driving in more rain in the form of a flotilla of fronts, but there will be something drier in between. However, in the next few hours, we've got cloud and rain packing in from the west, spreading eastwards. There could be some heavy bursts in all of that, but it's generally clearing away during the early hours, and we're left with a lot of cloud, but our temperatures down to single figures of 8 or 9 Celsius. So still very mild, the winds moderating, but breezier along the coast. And then tomorrow, those winds picking up. It's a windier day than today, but a touch milder. We'll just get a light scattering of showers, but on the whole, quite decent with some sunshine on offer too. And if you're looking for anything more reliably dry, look to Tuesday when our temperatures will be peaking.
Good news, that's all from the Look North team. We're back tomorrow, but for now, have a good Saturday night. Bye-bye.